All right, welcome to the this on-site location for this episode of the Comics Multiverse. I'm Chad, and I am sitting here with Nick Glindmyer, who is now you
Glindmyer.
Glindmyer. I'm sorry,
Glind, G-L-I-N-D.
Glind.
It's not an easy.
All right. Well, I've already done.
You're good. You're good.
So we're sitting here at Earthworld Comics here in Albany, New York, and it's this is the comic book store that I first came to when even before I moved to the area. I was sitting at a hotel thinking, I'm bored. I have some time to kill. I need to find a comic store. And
Sure.
This was the one. So
Sure.
and
Perfect.
when I moved here, that was when I came to, and I know that you've taken over since the unfortunate passing of your father.
Yep.
But tell us a little bit about yourself and let's start off with your history with comics.
I mean, it's kind of inescapable when your dad owns a shop. You don't really have you have a choice, but it's everywhere. It's all around. But I started reading Amazing Spider-Man when I was young. I learned to read on the old Electric Company Spider-Man issues that they did, which now I'm like hunting down singles of. Like, I kind of want them. Like, I want the Medusa, I want the goofy issues.
Okay, and so, how did that? I'm sure running the store was probably not what you wanted or thought you would be doing, or kind of.
I mean, it's something that I always wanted, and I worked at the shop. I mean, off and on for the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that's foreign. So that's good. It wasn't like a take. It's not like I took over and was like, what are comics?
These colors and
right. But I mean, I hadn't been working in the shop regularly since before COVID. So when DC moved to like Tuesday release dates, that like I didn't know I wasn't here working at the time. So when I came back, I was like, wait, what? Why? That's dumb. And it is. But
it's confusing.
They're going back.
But
apparently.
So tell us a little bit of history about the store itself.
The store started down the road, 337. Started down the road on Central in '83. So we celebrated our 40-year anniversary last year. Dad was not the original owner. Dad took over after the previous owner had run it into a good bit of debt. Dad had this like they came. I don't remember the distributor at the time, but they came to the store looking for money, and he was able to like give him an envelope with a little bit of money and a letter saying like, I don't have it all now. I'm taking over, this mess. I'm trying to make sense of it. But if you work with me, I'll get you the money. I just need a little bit of time. And because it was like not now, they were cool with that, and it worked out fine. But he was able to kind of pull it out of the hole that it was in, and slowly make it successful throughout the '90s with all the
boom and bust.
right, like the ups and downs that came with it.
So, as you've taken over, what have you found the challenges to be? What are you trying? Maybe different.
I mean, it's tough because I don't want to change. I can't change too much because we have the core, customer base that knows and likes and is used to the same thing. But I think really Free Comic Book Day is my first kind of time doing anything really different than what he did. Not in a good or bad way, just like, he would always, especially the last couple where we just kind of spent with a cosplayer, and that was it. You know, just
Yeah.
not essentially just a cosplayer. We have plenty of awesome years with cosplayers, but we hadn't really done anything big in a while. And I was like, we have this alley, don't ever use it. I mean, we do for free comedy once in a while, but why not? You know, bring in vendors, bring in people, local people making things. You know, bring in local artists doing stuff. So now we've got six different vendors, and well, 8 if you include the aquarium and Northeast Parent Child. That they'll have a set up out there as well, because it is Foster Care Awareness Month for May. So it just and that was like just one of the things that worked out perfectly. Like they were the ones that I wanted to support, and it just some weird serendipitous.
Because you guys always done like donating to a charity. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, yeah. Most free or pretty much all the free comic book days I think that we've done for at least the last 10 years. We've had a charity that we somehow fundraise for, whether it's, you know, bring in 5 cans of food that we can use for a food bank, or bring in whatever. We're always trying to do something. So like this past Christmas we did just donate toys and bedding and kids clothes and stuff for Things My Very Own, and we were able to get a ton of stuff for them. But yeah, no, this year we chose for Free Comic Book Day, we chose Northeast Parent Child, so that was cool. That was nice. And like I said, the weird serendipitous timing of it being just having to be Foster Care Awareness Month or whatever, and is like the perfect, you know, icing on the cake.
So let's talk Free Comic Book Day. What do you have happening? I mean, it's this Saturday. It's
yeah, it's gonna be a crazy one. So like I said, we've got 6 vendors in the alley, 8 booths. We will have a couple different local artists. We will have Yamaguchi, whose shop on Lark burned down not too long ago, and we did a bunch of fundraising efforts for them because they make really dope stuff. And we like I personally own pieces of theirs in our home. And you know, I was bummed out when I saw that their place caught fire and burned down. So fundraising, I wanted to help too. But then once I had the idea of doing the alley, it was like, I hope they're up and running by that time. And they don't have the storefront open, but they've been doing like shows and markets and stuff for since like a month after it happens. They've been okay, but it's been they were ones I wanted to work with. I was glad to help them. We've got what else do we have? Oh, we got the giant raffle.
The giant raffle.
I went a little crazy and solicited a ton of donations. Well, I solicited a ton of donations and got a great response back from publishers and people. But I think we've got a total of 640 raffle prizes for right now. You know, ranging from posters to CGC signed books, 1 in 100 ratio variants, you know, convention exclusive sketches, stuff from like Steve Orlando's personal collection, just because he's a sweetheart.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
He's like there's like a handful of like truly like super sweet people in comics, and Steve's definitely like high on that list.
And I'm kind of glad that he's finally getting his due.
100%. And he's like, he's getting it to the point where he's like becoming the busiest man in comics, writing for every publisher. He's got a book out every week, whether it's DC, Marvel, or an indie. He's always doing something.
He's too busy to book for an interview, but every time I see him like at New York Comic Con, he's like, "How's your son? How are you doing?"
I saw him at New York, and I hadn't seen him. I mean, Dad passed in May, but I saw him at New York, and it was like the lunar retailer breakfast, like receiving line of like writers and publishers. Right after everyone ate, they were doing signings for everybody, and Steve was on one of the panels for the signings. and he recognized me right off the rip and offered condolences because he hadn't seen me
Mhm.
since Dad's passing and asked how everything was going. And like first thing out of his mouth after that was, "Whatever I can do for the shop." Okay.
Mhm.
I was like, "Well, I don't want a favor that I call in to like pad my pockets.
Right.
If I call in a favor for Steve, I'd like it to be for like a charity.
Yep.
So let me do that, and I will take you up on that, but not for my game. But we've gotten a really really good response from everybody. It's been really nice.
Now you also have some special guests.
We do. Yeah, I really like. It's like just do everything. Dude. Why not have 10 things? No, Dick Tracy from Mad Cave came out this past Wednesday. It's actually really great. It's a great fun crime
Yeah.
detective story. But we'll have the writer Alex Segura here all day for that. We're really looking forward to that because he's written a ton of.
He's done Batman. He's done everything. Yeah.
Right. He did all the Archie. He's done he's done a lot for a lot of different companies, and it's like, damn, you got to like play in this. You get to play with these toys and those toys, and you know what I mean. Like you got to really like kind of dip your toes into every little world. And then he's writing novels for him also. Like he's.
I'm getting ready to start the audiobook of Secret Identity. And so I did have a chance to talk to him and Michael individually, which was it was really cool to kind of get their thoughts on the series and see what influences they plan to bring to the series.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed the first issue. I've had a chance to read it, and I think there's definitely somewhere where they can take it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm into it. I'm a sucker for like fun nostalgia stuff, and I mean I have nostalgia from the crappy 90 movie with Beatty, but at the time I was a kid, I thought it was good. You go back and watch it now, you're like, all right, maybe it wasn't good, but it was fun. But so I was excited to see it come back. But he really does have like, I know there's a lot of great rogues galleries in comics, but Dick Tracy's got. It's not super, it's not Spider-Man level. It's not, but he's got some pretty cool bad guys.
Yeah. So who else do you have coming?
Let's see. We'll have Spider-Man here all day.
Okay.
Well, most of the day. He has to leave. He has to swing at 2:30, I believe. But yeah, no, that would be good. Is this gonna? When is this probably won't be out before Saturday? Is it?
Okay.
Well, okay. Then I won't ruin the surprise on that. I'll tell you after. It's dopey and fun, but we'll have him. We have a customer of ours that always dresses up as Batman in comics. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure that there will be plenty of people like that come by that are like, we always get lucky with just like customers that have awesome costumes that they're like, yeah, I've been working on this for like, a couple of years, just off and on. And like, they show up and it's like a full mech suit that like moves and stuff. You're like, what do you mean off and on? This looks like you like spent 40 hours working on it. What do you mean?
Where did you find that time?
I know.
Please, I could use some. So
I do get to tinker a little bit of stuff though.
So kind of what's popular here in the shop with your customers?
Lately it's been a lot of, for DC it's been a lot of the Brainiac stuff. The Action Comics and Superman has been a really good seller for us. Flash has been really good. On the Marvel side, FF's been good. Fantastic Four has been really good.
I like that he I can't think of his name right now, but he's doing a lot of different things with it. He's
and then the biggest seller and like the ballpark, or like without a doubt, is Ultimate Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so good, and I don't remember if we talked about it on the other podcast that we were doing, but I don't know if it had come out by then.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But the writing, I think I had mentioned it then, because the writing was on the wall then that like, we have had subscribers complaining about Amazing Spider-Man for a long time, about how they just want Peter and MJ together, how they want it's not good because he's not happy, and they did the will they won't they so much that like, and they just keep pulling the carrot away, and we're just like, everyone's sick of it and canceling subscriptions on guys that have had it for had on their subscription list for years. We're pulling it off. So
I know that for some people the Zeb Wells stuff isn't really clicking.
Yeah, which is weird because I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it seems like they've gotten rid of Amazing Spider-Man writers for less open discourse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seemingly less open discourse, but who knows what's going on. But just seeing the solicits for Ultimate Spider-Man, seeing that it was MJ and Peter together, and they were married, and they had 2 kids, it was like, oh, this is what everybody has been clamoring for. It's if you read Ultimate Spider-Man when you were in high school, Peter Parker is your age now in Ultimate Spider-Man. So like, I was reading it in high school, and he's 38. I'm 39. So like, reading it now, it's like, I'm married with a kid. I don't have powers yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Still waiting for that. How about the X titles? And I mean, I know they're kind of transitioning.
Yeah, they're kind of wrapping up and winding down and doing that stuff. But
again,
I mean, yeah. But I think there's the buzz surrounding the new the new lineup that they're, or the new 3 new books that they're having is good. And I think
Gelson owns on one.
That's what I'm excited for.
Jed McKay.
I'm excited for, or no, I'm excited for. Actually, I'm excited for the Gale one, but also isn't Weezy getting one?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm trying to think of the 3 flagship. It's yeah, I know that Jed McKay's writing another title.
That's the thing, man. There's so many guys that just burn through so many titles doing so many. So many guys on their staff just do.
And his stuff is good. I mean, good. His Moon Knight is awesome, and
I feel like Al Ewing's another one who does like 5 books
Yeah.
a month, and they're all pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, they're all like pretty consistently good. Like,
Yeah.
damn, you just got it down, huh? Some guys got it.
I mean, his what was it? The Roxxon Thor.
Mm-hmm.
That was just funny.
Yeah.
I mean, to put out something like that, and Immortal Thor is also month after month. It's just amazing, in my opinion.
I'm trying to think what else has been good. The Avengers of the Moon Knight stuff has been fun. Honestly, all the Energon and Duke and all the Transformers, all the G.I. Joe titles are selling really, really well.
All those the more than the 80s ones.
Yeah, exactly. Going back to the nostalgia, like people, and it's also showing in other books too. It's showing in Thundercats. It's showing.
That's Dynamite. Am I right?
I
think so.
Yeah.
It's one of those properties that kind of jumps around.
It bounces around. Yeah, it's like Conan, where you're like, who's publishing it now? All right, I guess we'll go with it. I mean, I feel like Something Is Killing the Children always sells well. Saga always sells well.
Yeah.
Those are like perennial.
Well, looking at I know looking at your selection now, and always you guys always have something that somebody is going to definitely find something that they're going to want to check out.
Yeah, we try to have a nice varied selection, but we're lucky as far as there's no shortage of titles. There's we get a lot, and for the area, and we don't get everything. Just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, we get everything from the big guys, but the independent stuff, like.
Anything else on the independent side that's that you're enjoying, or maybe
I dig Feral Feral's been fun from Image. Samna was really good. From Distillery.
Mhm.
Distillery's had some really good books. Spectrograph came out this past week. That was really good.
Yeah.
Tinian's new one. That one was good.
He's another one that can just.
And writes everything. Like he's another one who's like just putting a book out a week. It seems like.
I'm looking forward to, what is it, the Sea House, or the House by the Sea,
Yeah. What
which is it's the follow up to the House by the Lake.
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
The Nice House by the Sea,
Right.
following up the Nice House by the Lake.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, he's busy as hell. Like, and they just announced at C2E2 something about, I think, Department of Truth when that starts filming. Filming? I believe filming is when what they were teasing.
Okay.
But
I haven't had a chance to catch up with C2E2. I mean,
I only got like what I've heard from I sent the Earthworld, the henchgoon Batman Dave out to C2E2, and he reported some stuff back, but he just got back today, and I haven't had a chance to really like sit down with him yet. But he'll probably be in tomorrow and debrief me on everything that he saw. But he's a CGC signature witness.
Okay.
So when he goes, he just stands in signature lines, drops books off. So like when when he's in a line that he needs to get stuff, he just gets it. And he gets to like hang out and talk to artists all the time. So he's like buddies with these crazy names where I'm like, you get to what? And he's like sending pictures of him hanging out with like Tinian. Like what? So yeah, I gotta make it a point to like go to more conventions with him.
I mean, and a lot of them are really nice guys, like Mark Russell, nicest.
Oh
guy
yeah,
ever.
yeah.
I've interviewed him a couple times, and usually when he had something come, it's like, can we interview?
Right. I really feel like because like so many in comics were the kids getting bumped in the hallway and getting pushed, and you know what I mean, like, and that it breeds so many like sweet, kind people and it brings that many in because so many people were these, invisible people or whatever growing up that you would bump in the hallway and not notice, and then that's what makes like going to conventions so super nice. Like everybody's usually, for the most part, everybody's so great. You bump into somebody, both of you were like, sorry. When do you ever get that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, especially in a convention hall.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, somewhere as packed as New York. I mean, it's
right. Right.
So, what is your take on the industry as it stands now? I mean, as someone who places orders for customers, and how do you see it, I guess, trending, or where do you see it trending, or?
It seems it seems to be trending up as far as our numbers look. I mean, numbers, orders wise and sales were going up, so it's good. But I mean, there's nothing like one big thing that's standing out as like the reason why, other than the Ultimate Spider-Man thing. But that was just because it's the most recent big thing. Like, also, I kind of ordered heavy on issue 1, knowing that people were fed up and wanted that. So we had them for much longer. We had first copies of issues of the first print for weeks and weeks. I think probably a month and a half. And then we finally sold out, but they were selling online as of like a couple weeks ago for like cover A, not like a ratio or something crazy, just a cover A. Selling for like 110, 125.
Wow.
Like, what are we doing?
Hopefully we don't go back into that spectator market.
It's always there. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's like it's a thorn in your side, but also it's people buying books. Are you going to complain? But also, like, I'm not going to sell you a stack of one book. So like, we have to do something to combat it, but we can't tell you I'm not selling you anything.
Right.
But yeah, no, that's been tough. I don't love that. But we haven't really had to. They're usually like, once we put the sign up as a one per customer, people are usually pretty
pretty good. Because I
And
think,
also, like the people that have asked for like a second copy, it's
Mhm.
usually like subscribers who are like, my cousin can't have, like, it's usually like my cousin's shop didn't get any or doesn't have enough or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not, you're a subscriber. I'm not worried about it. You're, like we know you've been here forever.
so it's not like the guy who I think it was when I first moved here. It's when they killed Captain America, and it's like as soon as it was announced on the in the news, like the day before New Comic Day, places were like blitzed.
I remember that. I remember Joker's daughter being a big one that like we had to limit when they did that storyline way back, not way back, a couple years back, 10 plus years back. There hasn't been a big like speculative book other than that recently
Yeah,
that I can think of, thankfully.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's always like, you know, like I said, there's always some degree of it, but
So, what lessons have you learned? Since taking over the shop that you kind of didn't know before, or
that I don't know anything. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it, and then you realize you don't know it, and then oh shit, I'm in deep. Like we're in the deep end now.
yeah,
But yeah, no, kind of realizing that you're gonna mess up, but you also haven't done it before, so like give
yeah,
yourself a little bit of grace. But yeah, no, you can't, and like also there's some things you just can't predict.
yeah.
There was a minute where there was possibly like a UPS strike, so that was like looming on us for a bit, and we were already kind of making backup plans to drive to the distribution hubs to like pick up the books if we needed to, just because I know that Dad did that in the past
Well, I
when he's
remember
had
when
to.
I
And
remember during COVID, he was out taking
oh
comics
yeah, yeah,
to the customers, which
yeah, he was doing curbside. Yeah, yeah, he would have you call in your order, or if you're a subscriber, he would just grab your books and run the cars and just run it out of the
yeah,
car. Yeah, he didn't really close during COVID.
it's was probably for the best during those times.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was good that they, for the most part, really stopped putting books out. So
Except for that little
sure,
diamond hiccup.
sure. But I mean, like
Yeah.
for the most part, considering everything that happened, could have been worse. We didn't have to close. We didn't have to lay
Yeah.
anybody off. We didn't have
Yeah.
to cut anybody out. Everybody still got paid. Everybody, we were fortunate.
Nice. I remember talking about like the cells that your dad used to have. I remember one year it starts on the first day of the sale, it's full
Oh
price,
yeah,
and then
those are
if you
big.
wait, each day,
It was
a
like a
little,
certain percentage
it's
off. It
certain,
was
yeah,
like 20% one
and
day. The next day
and
it was like
so
30 or 40.
and so I kept coming back every day, going, should I get that full run of Gotham Central now, or
Mm.
do I take the? I got it eventually.
Those are such good sales too. Actually, of the like talked about, like people being like, "Oh, you should do this again. You should bring this back." Like that's the one that I would do
Hmm.
because it's fun
Yeah, because you have,
and it's easy. Like that sort of thing is easy to set up in the computer too for like setting that sale. It's not a hard thing to like just blanket everything for a day. It's like easy to schedule thing too. I'm like, it wouldn't be hard.
yeah. I know that your dad was also good about donating, because I used to work with the Schenectady Public Library in their convention, and he would always
Yeah,
donate books donate books to us, and that was always great, and to be able to give out books there too. So
yeah. I just donated three cases of comics to my son's school for like just to give out to the kids.
mhm.
Um, just because it was a previous year's like Spidey and his amazing
Yep,
friends, but it had the cutout masks on them,
yep,
which are awesome. So like they're kind of like those are perfect because it's a Spidey and a Miles and a Gwen.
mhm,
So everybody's covered. Everybody can have a mask, boy or girl. Everybody's happy.
yep.
Um, but uh, we just had a bunch of cases left over, and I was like, let's give this. I'm never gonna.
Yeah.
Let's get to school. So we
Yeah.
had like 5 cases. I was like, you can have 3.
Nice.
You can have 3. We gave a bunch to a kid's after school program.
So if I were to strand you on a desert island and you could only take 5 things to read, I will allow you to bring complete runs of series just because I'm nice.
Okay, that's
What
fair.
would they be?
We're doing 5 runs, complete title runs.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do Transmetropolitan, Preacher, Amazing Spider-Man, just so you have,
Mhm.
just because it gets so much. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
can read the early stuff, or you can, or you can skip the Zeb Wells stuff.
The clone stuff.
I know, like it's good. Well, that's the beauty of it. There's so much history, you can kind of pick and choose. You don't have to read the stuff you don't want to read.
Clone who's back again.
Yeah. Like, all right, we can skip that too. What are we at? 3?
Yep.
Probably Batman for the same reason.
Yep.
I'm reading it now. It's good. I like it, but any Batman story, I'm happy to read. So it's one of those ones where I'm not mad at.
Who's your favorite Batman writer?
That's tough. It's been a while since I've had like a real favorite. I like Zdarsky's run.
Mhm.
I liked King's run.
Mhm.
I like Snyder's run for the most part. Got a little weird at the end. But he did a lot of.
Yeah.
I mean, when you do that many,
Yeah.
I mean, they can't. He did a ton. They can't all be winners when you're doing that many. Like,
Right.
what are you gonna do? Sometimes Gordon vapes and has a mech suit to be Batman. Or whatever. That was dumb, but it was fun. Another dumb fun run was Rosenberg's Punisher run. I love that run. It's so fun. It just reads like a summer action movie. It's like, Frank gets the War Machine armor and just starts going to like small countries and fucking shit up. It's so much. It's just goofy fun.
Yeah, 2 more.
2 more. Oh no, 1 more because we had Batman.
Okay.
1 more. I'm trying to get something different. I keep wanting to bounce back to Marvel because a lot, and honestly, for the same reason, because Marvel, like I would tempted to go Avengers just because there's been so many good Avengers story runs. Yeah, probably Avengers.
Okay.
I feel bad that I got like 1 DC book. Usually I can think of more, but
So who would be on your personal Mount Rushmore of comic book creators?
oof, that's tough. 4 all time or current?
All
Or
time,
like-
current, or whatever you want.
All right, we'll mix it up. Ditko.
Mhm.
Bendis. I mean, Stan's easy. It feels like it's such a
Yeah.
gimme. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
the center square and bingo. Um, sorry, I was thinking about Free Comic Book Day.
Okay.
Blanked out. I got nothing right now. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Well, because there's so many like easy ones that I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do that. It's easy. I don't want to do that. It's easy. I don't want to do that. It's easy. Yeah, I mean, Bendis is easily on there. Frank Miller is an easy one, but I feel like current Frank isn't doing himself any favors. But also,
Yeah, some of his variant covers are kind of
they're so tough. It's tough because like you can see what he's trying to go for.
Yeah.
Like you get it, but it's just not there anymore. And
not clicking.
yeah. But like, you know, his Daredevil stuff is awesome. Like
Yeah.
that stuff, yeah, like and all the, you know, but um, I mean, Ramita,
Yeah.
it's tough not to.
Yeah, it's I mean it's
There's so many like, oh yeah, him, oh yeah, him, oh yeah,
and there's so many different there's writers, there's artists,
right,
and
right.
to boil it down to four is
To
kind
four
of
stuff. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, even if we did designate it like only current, it's still not an easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many good writers, there's so many good artists out right now that it's like we're kind of in a good spot for that kind of stuff.
So, what are you personally reading that you are really enjoying and would recommend?
Ultimate Spider-Man, honestly. That's really the only book that I have time to read because it's once a month and I know that I can catch up on it when I need to and not have to like, you know,
Catch
but
up,
yeah,
read a couple, read a couple issues back, and
right. I mean, I read most of the stuff when it comes in, but I'm like skimming it just to like, oh, that was fun, or like, you know, that looked good. But Hulk's been good.
Mhm.
Incredible Hulk's been good. I like what they're doing with the transformations and that they're going like making it almost like Immortal Hulk, where it's like, oh, this is terrifying. Like his like giant Hulk teeth coming out from in front of his little teeth, and then like his little teeth like ripping out. Oh, this is like straight body horror. Okay, cool. This is what we're doing. All right. That's been good. I mean, yeah, but it's mostly like stuff that I flip through.
Yeah.
Because the time to weekly read is pretty minimal.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Right. And then, by the time I get home, I've only grabbed like 3 of the 5 that I wanted to read, and then I get home, read the 3, and then I'm like, oh. And then never remembered to even look back at them because I'm like working on orders that come out in July.
I was going to say, how far ahead do you order? And
if I put an order in today, there's like you do a monthly order. That's like and then for like June, and then in the month leading up to June, the weeks leading up to the month, you do like in the first week of the month, you do the first week of the next month's finalizing of those numbers that you did in the initial or the beginning. It's a giant pain in the ass. You essentially have to do everything twice. But it gives you the cutoff gives you the opportunity to like add more if you hear like
expect it to be popular, or can you reduce, or
like when the Void Rivals thing happened and they announced that the Energon universe was happening, Kirkman let retailers know months in advance. And no one spilled the beans. So everyone had the chance to order as high as they wanted on that, knowing that was happening. And I was shocked that no one leaked it to like, Bleeding Cool or whatever, just to like, for any reason. Because that stuff comes out of like the drop of the hat in those groups.
Are there any shows that you have time to watch that you kind of?
That's a tough one too. I will watch them, but I'll put them on in the background while I'm doing orders and stuff at home. But like the last show I watched like start to finish was I just finished Fallout. That was very good.
I've started that.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I've never played the actual video game, just the phone version.
Sure. Oh yeah, no, that was fun too though. Yeah. No, yeah, I played the old games. I played from like 3 on, and then 3 in New Vegas, and then 4. But my wife didn't. She'd always walk by and see me play and whatever, and she didn't really show any interest. She loved the show, watched the show, and then she's like, "Can you get 4? Can we play 4?" I was like, "Yeah, it's on the thing." Yeah.
Oh, do you want to give like one more shout out for the shop and for Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. Come down, free comic book day, 10 to 6. We'll be here. We'll be set up in the alley with this, this massive raffle that we've got. All the money is going to Northern Rivers Foster Care. We've got Alex Segura in store from 10 to 6, signing copies of his new comic from Dick Tracy from Mad Cave. We've got, you know, Spider-Man will be here. We've got all sorts of fun stuff. So it's gonna be a really really good time.
Good. I mean, I've always enjoyed coming here, and yeah, and even though it's like one of your was the busiest day, your dad always had a few minutes to kind of say hi and chat and
Well,
give us an update. And
it's always fun to like amidst the chaos, like the chaotic nature of that day, to see like a friendly face,
Yeah.
like just to be like, oh cool, I can take 5 minutes and TS and like
Yeah.
catch up, and not have to be like, hey, I'm blah blah blah. You can actually just, hey, what's going on? Man? Like just hang out and catch up for a second.
Oh, I want to thank you for taking the time this evening to
Yeah,
sit down and chat, and hopefully I'll be able to make it over first thing in the morning on Saturday. And
that's the move.
Yeah, that's the move. I mean, because I know that from years before that it's always been a line to get in.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, actually, I think we've got so many things going on. I forgot. We have the aquarium, Via Aquarium coming, and they have from 10 to 12. They'll be there all day, but they have from 10 to 12. They'll have snakes, lizards, turtles, all sorts of stuff for the kids to take pictures and pet and have fun with. So
try to try to become your own superhero.
Right. Just pour whatever ooze on you want. I'm sure they don't mind.
All right. Well, again, thanks again, and we'll have to chat again soon.
Yeah.
And see how things are going.
Awesome.